Hey everyone, serotonin. It is super late, but I gotta get through this. It's a three-parter, this cosmic fascism, and it's a big one. I was gonna line this up with video by Shakin Stevens called The Green Door, What's Going On Behind the Green Door. But I'll put the link into the description box below. It's a cute song. It's a song I loved when I was 6, and it's interesting. The video is really weird. Anyway, cosmic fascism. This is an article I came across pretty much right after it came out. I'm trying to remember which outlet I would have seen it on because I definitely didn't know about Veterans Today. Like, I did know about them, but I wouldn't be going to their website on my own. But anyway, this is pretty amazing. Like I said, this is a three-part article. And I'm super glad that I have the audience in my channel that I do because it says here at the top a disclaimer. Oh, and by the way, disclaimer to all my videos. This is just me chatting away about stuff that I find on the internet that I think is interesting. There we go. Okay, so if you have not read prior VT articles on secret space war matters, you may find this article a waste of your time and an exercise in incredulity and fantasy, and you should probably not read it. But you guys totally know what's going on, so we're all good. So, soon the public is going to learn that alien ETs are real and that their anti-gravity craft are real too. So, you guys may have noticed, I said that I swore off looking at Galactic Connection website, but to be honest, it's like checking out Fox News. It's just always interesting to see what is being said. Um, so, okay. Um, I saw recently that Area 51 is like they're calling to storm it in September. And so it just fits in nicely. If you've ever gone to, I'm trying to think of some of the names of the websites that I used to go to. Um, but anyone associated with Jordan Sather and that whole crowd, this is kind of what they're going on about. This is what they're talking about. So it's just really interesting. Um, and anyway, here we go. Okay, it's going to take time, so let's just get into it. Okay, soon the public is going to learn that alien ETs are real and their anti-gravity craft are real too. Dot, dot, dot. And this major disclosure of the US government's greatest secret may now come sooner rather than later. Once the cat is out of the bag, be certain that it will set off a process that will displace the current super-fascist American governmental system run out of the City of London, COL, and will usher in a kinder, gentler, at least at first, new form of fascism best referred to as cosmic fascism. And this is my concern. This is what I'm seeing happening. I was really right on board with the whole Q thing, and I'm still not off the Q board train thing, whatever. I was actually technically never on the actual Q board because I don't know how computers work barely, um, or care, I should say. But anyway, what I don't like and what I've seen a lot lately is if there's a whole push on the pro Q thing of if you don't believe us, then you're complicit. And it just sounds to me like what, you know, the squad, so to speak, is saying and down there in DC, and just like, I don't know, it's just this whole like if you're not on with us, then you're against us. Like if you're, and it's like you have to pick a side, and there's one side or there's another side, and it's such a load of crap, and it's really starting to bug me because you don't have to pick sides. You can stand on your own 2 feet and think for yourself, and I don't know, it's just starting to really get to me. And that's why I started remembering the cosmic fascism. And now that I'm kind of on the outs with a lot of the alternative, you know, community that I was in with, oh, not that long ago, it's just, yeah, it just got me thinking about this article and it makes me want to share it. All right, back to the article. Okay, these crashed craft have been recovered and back engineered by certain defense contractors in various black and unacknowledged programs. And some inside sources have now claimed that these back-engineered programs involve secret treaties made with certain alien ET groups who now work jointly with American defense contractor staff and certain highly compartmented, deep black and beyond black, unacknowledged secret space war and hybridization programs, with at least one being located in Dulce, New Mexico, in a deep underground military base. Dumb. I would like to challenge someone to memorize that and repeat that quickly 5 times. Ben Rich, former head of Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works, described UFOs as biomorphic. Remember this term, biomorphic, that Ben Rich used to describe these recovered and back-engineered alien ET anti-gravity craft. Biomorphic means resembling or suggesting the form of a living organism, the ability to move, change shape, and function as a living entity. More on this deep mystery at the end of this 3-part series. Ooh, I love how they throw you a little breadcrumb of dessert. I mean, that's like a dessert crumb during your appetizer. And as Ben Rich also once claimed, we now have the technology to take ET home. He was implying that the defense contractors in these unacknowledged, unaudited, deep black and beyond black programs had now reached the point technologically that they can bridge interstellar space and travel interdimensionally beyond the speed of light. This major coming disclosure of the deepest state secrets ever held is going to create a monumental shift in the composition and beliefs of society, including its leadership structure. For reasons to be disclosed in this article, this coming greatest USG disclosure ever will propel America and the world into a new kind of globalist NWO that will be independent of the old guard, who are typically referred to by insiders as the BTRKM-COL, or the hierarchy. So I'm not entirely sure what BTRKM stands for, but COL was City of London. So Malta, Royal Knights of Malta, and BT, that's going to take me a little bit. Okay. This current ruling cabal will be shoved aside and made irrelevant and will become completely unsupported at every level by the world's masses and all in unison, and will be ejected from all power, right? This is what we're seeing in the Q movement. The cabal will be shoved aside and deemed obsolete and anti-human as a worldwide reaction to some very startling world events related to the disclosure of alien ETs and publicly announced expectation of the coming cosmic battle for planet Earth. So there's that, but I think there's other stuff that's also propelling the startling reaction, worldwide reaction to startling events, This expected final battle for planet Earth is going to be reported as a battle with what are not now viewed to be a certain evil alien ET group headed towards planet Earth as a very large and powerful armada. So that's what they're going to tell us. The Babylonian Talmudic Rothschild Khazarian Mafia. I'm really sorry, I'm having a hard time reading. It's 3:33. Oh, jeez, how weird. This ruling cabal is a hierarchy or pyramid of power and is known to be controlled by BTRKM-COL, private debt note based on pernicious usury fiat banking. Insiders claim this cabal is run by a satanic cult that uses pedophilia as their personal sport and a means to compromise new initiates. This ruling cabal has been alleged to have merged its top controllers with every major organized crime group in the world. Typically, this hierarchy always infiltrates, merges, and then hijacks major organized crime groups all over the world to gain an edge in controlling the various subcultures of power that exist in the world. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing like the veil is gone, and we're seeing this in so many places, right? Then the hierarchy uses this underworld power as a base to conduct highly illegal, immoral, covert operations needed to gain vast funding off the books and without congressional oversight, to human compromise and exert controls not otherwise possible, that are all thus deniable. I love this paragraph so much. Doofuses and weirdos are selected from bloodline families of those who are judged to be easily morally compromised, and these folks are groomed, initiated, dirtied up, and propelled into the highest positions in society and the USG to become cutouts for the hierarchy. So those are the politicians we see, the doofuses and weirdos. Thus, the visible USG is staffed with doofus tools in high authority that are there only to act as ordered or according to the agendas set by a top council of the 12 kings of the earth, now 11. Once they are no longer needed, soon after major disclosure occurs, they will quickly become irrelevant and be pushed aside into obscurity and perhaps poverty too, like many of their victims over the years. Despite all the power these doofus tools have been given and cloaked with, they are readily disposable as soon as they are no longer needed by the top controller to which the superior general, Black Pope, answers to. And I just happened to pull this up about the Black Pope. So we're just going to take a little sidecar here. Ever wonder why the world is so diabolically evil? Meet the man that plans it that way. The Black Pope, Adolfo Nicholas, the most powerful man in the world and behind the plan for a new world order. The superior general of the Jesuits, the Black Pope, Adolfo Nicholas, and his 6 generals control the White Pope and the Vatican and the entire list below. The Illuminati, which is no longer in existence, apparently that was broken up 10 years ago. It's called the Factions now. Zionists, global elites, the Council on Foreign Relations, Bilderberg Group, Freemasons, Council of 30, the United Nations, and the Council of Trent. And I just want to mention that apparently Epstein sat on the Council of Foreign Relations, if you can believe that. The Jesuits control the Knights Templar, the Knights of Columbus, and the Knights of Malta. The CIA, the clowns, the FBI, the NSA, the ASIO, M15, M16, NCIS, FSB, DGSE, Mossad, and every intelligence agency in the world are Masonic and controlled by the Jesuits. The Jesuits have infiltrated most governments and leaders, including Obama, making them puppets that carry out Jesuit orders. And it says here, this info on who pulls the strings is the most important thing that we will post on facebook.com/Citizens Action Network. Knowledge is power, and I agree completely. Okay. Here we go again. And this entity, the Black Pope, according to insiders, the Pope, top controller to which the superior general Black Pope answers to. Okay, and this entity that the Black Pope answers to, according to insiders, is a lesser god / fallen one. Fallen one. Some view as Lucifer, an entity whom these top cabal members view as the god of this world, and a force they believe will soon be seated to rule the whole world, with supernatural power. So I don't know about this because I've heard from Thomas Williams that there's something called Marduk that stepped down and is gone or is killed or something. And so I don't think that thing is still around. But I've also heard a word, Pindar, and I don't know if that's the same thing, if that was his title, or I don't know. Still figuring it all out. But anyway, those are some words for you guys to check out. The ruling cabal, aka the hierarchy, is typically controlled by 12 kings, now 11, until a replacement is fully initiated and brought in. These kings rule the world and answer to the superior general, aka Black Pope, who operates under the authority of Lucifer, who believes he is the operational god of this world. I think it's kind of like the same paragraph, just rewritten. And this new form of fascism is shifted into place. It will, in a sense, start out as a much friendlier than the super fascism which was implemented by George H.W. and the BCC. Bones Club? I don't know what that one is. And the authority of the Council of 12 and the operational kings of the BT, Royal Knights of Malta, that's what I think, and City of London world banking hierarchy. In America, superfascism has been cloaked as friendly, except if you become a target as a whistleblower, dissident, or nation where natural resources and land is considered essential to the hierarchy. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to continue reading. I think we're all going to have to decide what point we are in this, because I do believe they stick to their plans. We've been told these people are stupid. Is Q part of the plan? Are we also stupid? I don't know. I'm just My brain needs to dig through this. I have this incredible need to just dig through this. So thanks for coming along, those of you who are coming along. George H.W. Bush used to brag to his inside circle that what he had implemented was a friendlier form of fascism, the iron fist in the velvet glove, and what he meant was this new super-fascist USG that was implemented by the JFK assassination, was secret, powerful, and maintained a veneer of social concern on the outside. Of course, any serious whistleblowers or dissenters who were judged to pose a serious loose end or threat to the hierarchy would be seriously dealt with by the Iron Fist, but it would be sufficiently cloaked to keep it secret from the general public through control of their major mass media, which functions as an illegal news and media monopoly and cartel. Serious terminations with extreme prejudice by assigned wet boy teams, sometimes using women assets, required presidential signed national security finding. Wow. Much like a secret PDD that ordered and justified the action as necessary to protect or maintain national security. Geez. These assassinations of whistleblowers and dissidents made America involve orders by FBI or Clown officers or agents to the local police to stand down that are always complied with. Highly obedient or deeply compromised medical examiners and coroners are used, who falsely list the deaths as suicides even though all evidence shows blatant acts of murder. This methodology became a way of life in Arkansas for the Dixie Mafia, which became deputized by the Clowns of National Security and used to cover up for the Clintons and H.W. Herbert Walker authorized crimes of the Clown Mena, Arkansas drug pipeline. Thus, the term Arkancide was coined to represent these impossible suicides, later used by the FBI, Clowns, and DoD and various contractors deputized under national security. What American superfascism is and how it functions as a secret globalist NWO run by 149 large interlocked international corporations, mostly linked to G7 nations which share many of the same board of directors and intel agents from their nation's various intel agencies. With Nazi fascism, the state merged with the corporations, but the state maintained control. Our current condition in America is best referred to as superfascism, wherein the state and corporations merge and the corporations gain control over the state because they have stacked and hijacked it. In superfascism, 147 of these largest international corporations and large Wall Street banks infiltrated, stacked, and hijacked used the American state and use it as their tool to protect their own elite interests over and above the interests of we the people. The superfascism of America, as directed by the BT RKM COL, is only a transitory state and will soon be superseded by a whole new form of government, one that will envelop the whole world, or what is left of it by that time. And that's kind of the other thing. We're fighting against a new world order, but at the same time, we're kind of uniting together under Q. I don't know. On the one hand, I like the idea of us being all together. I don't know. I don't know. I do. I do. I have issue to a degree with bans on travel. Like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I'm not sure exactly how I'm feeling or what I'm thinking at all right now. But like I said before, I have a need to go through this. Okay. But like regular fascism, superfascism too will be superseded by a new style of fascism. This new type of fascism, best called cosmic fascism, is going to be implemented soon and is the merger and fusion of the secret shadow government, the SSG, and the secret space war program with the state to form a new form of state, the globalist NWO superstate. With cosmic fascism, the deep esoteric secrets of the secret space war program are going to be accepted by the superstate and will be publicly proclaimed in order to mobilize the masses against what will be claimed to be a large coming invasion attempt by evil alien ETs. At that time, the world's masses will be convinced that the only way for humanity to survive is for all the major nations of the world to coordinate their secret space war programs and fight and destroy this large alien ET cosmic invading force. As this shift to the esoteric as cosmic fascism in society occurs, the old guard top hierarchy members, which includes the BT, RKM, BCC, COL, super fascists, will be quickly pushed aside and stripped of all power. and privilege. Naturally, the old guard will resist this new form of fascism, cosmic fascism, and will desperately try and maintain the existence of their very own system, superfascism. To do this, they will pick from a choice of proved options. They can continue to deploy false Fs, some even nuclear, as was done with NYC on 9/11. They can use these to falsely blame hand-selected mentally ill, or words I will not say, Islamic patsies, and the FBI works hard to entrap, or they can start major new illegal, unconstitutional, aggressive foreign words of acquisition. Or they can continue supporting their private mercenary army, ISIS, which is an extension of the Mujahideen started by the clans to defeat the Soviet communists in Afghanistan in order to gain control and greatly expand the opium crops and acquire cheap access for the lithium for high-tech batteries for your cell phones. Or they can provoke North Korea, Russia, and or China into major World War III with a limited or full exchange of nuclear weapons, while the top hierarchy leaders go underground into designated dumps until the radiation clears. Then they can come out and start all over, all under the continuation of the government program. So I think this is something that they were trying to do, but I don't know, because this seems to be looking good and this seems to be looking good, but there's a bit of flip-flops. There's some sandal wearing over here. Of course, the big secret here is that these DUMBs are actually controlled by the alien ETs and hybrids, and once these folks go down during any World War III nuclear exchange, they will likely never emerge, and there have been rumors for years that at some point some of these supposedly friendly alien ETs they have treaties with and joint secret space war projects with will soon turn on them and use them as a food source and delicacy. I don't know. And as some in the SSW program already know, there have been multiple occasions where UFOs piloted by alien ETs have hovered around nuclear ICBM launch sites and used sophisticated electronic warfare to render devices temporarily unlaunchable, and the detonators cannot be armed. It is not too much a jump from this time to assume that if the super-fascists attempt to start a full exchange, nuclear World War III, the various alien ETs will prevent the full destruction of the human populace. I think it's pretty obvious by now. We are a jumpy, angry group, and we would be long dead if someone wasn't watching out for us. But I don't, can't be waiting on a savior, people. We gotta be, God helps those who help themselves. Anyway, however, it is possible that they will allow a partial launch and a loss of up to about a third of the world population. This will serve as a catalyst to push their new cosmic fascist system into place for their style of globalist NWO. In a worst case scenario, there could be a counterstrike and another loss of up to 1/3 of the world's populace. I'm really sounding really like chilled out right now because it's very late and I'm tripping over my own tongue. And also, this is really, hardcore information. So, sorry if I sound really like, I don't know, kind of newsreader or something. Anyway, this large-scale mass death of humans, of course, could be used by the new group to promote itself and make its descent into a position of leadership over web population that remains much easier and faster. There is a side effect of superfascism's habit of merging with organized crime all over the world, of merging with the satanic cults and deputizing them as agents or assets of national security, and promoting a large subculture of endemic corruption associated with and protected by the USG. This side effect is that a large portion of the masses have become aware of the massive endemic corruption of the USG and its associates, and it has engendered a general disrespect and even hatred for the USG itself, American intel, American law enforcement, and as well as all the American alphabets and all those leaders associated with each entity. This occurrence can itself make it relatively easy for a new set of rulers to use the crises they create to push aside the ruling cabal and quickly rise to the top of a new form of government that is destined to be installed. Dun dun dun. It is my view that there is going to be tension between the secret shadow government, which is based on the secret space war, and the ruling cabal. The hierarchy, the BT, RKM, COL. I believe that the SSW has pulled the SSG into major esoteric drift away from the reality of the ruling cabal, and that this tension will be resolved as the world masses that remain become fed up with superfascism. Esoteric drift. Drift of operational beliefs into specific secrets of an isolated and powerful subculture. Historically based on the forbidden ancient Babylonian or Sumerian black arts of the dark side, which have been passed on through satanic pedophile occult groups associated with certain bloodlines. SSW esoteric drift does not appear to be directly linked to drift into ancient BT black arts, but rather a drift into special SSW subculture of deep space secrets and technologies that must be protected by extreme secrecy and memory erasure system. Officials who directly run the secret space war programs with full knowledge of the deep space fleets of the USN and the USAF have allegedly drifted into a subcultural mindset. This mindset reportedly includes a non-conventional view of humans as soul containers and involves a different view of time and space. Interesting. Often the end state that is viewed as a vitally important goal is used to justify the means necessary to attain that goal, no matter who gets hurt or killed. One example is that it has been alleged that secret space war pilots served 10-year terms of deep space combat with this invading armada that is headed our way, and then their memories are wiped clean as security and secrecy measures. It has been reported that some of these SS vets who have had their memories wiped start recovering them after a period of time. This esoteric drift of the SSG because of the SSW deep space anti-gravity fleets of the USN and the USAF combined with the domes and the treaties with certain alien ET groups has actually constituted a very sophisticated type of mind control. This has caused the SSW controllers to accept the AT aliens' directed delusion that the American masses should not be told the truth, that they could not handle it. The radio show War of the Worlds was used as a test, and reports of these suicides are used as justification for the cloak of secrecy that is maintained but is now eroding fast due to disagreements between the younger members and the older members of Majestic. I believe this is a false delusion that the American masses have already been slowly adapted to the truth because of Hollywood's depictions. Dr. Stephen Greer's Revolutionary Disclosure Project, I don't know about him at all, and the many SSW heroes that have retired and come forth to tell a good portion of the truth. This mind control has been a result of alien ET culture imposed on the humans they work with and the very sophisticated spiritual and psychic mind control. This alien ET mind control helps with these alien ET groups control the SSG elements it works with to develop and refine super high-tech quantum technologies, including anti-gravity, interdimensional travel, and scalar and particle beam weapons and communication systems. In conclusion, basically the BT, RKM, and COL folks who staff the ruling cabal and their close associates and cutouts have been seduced by a combination of the 7 deadly sins and have allowed their very souls to be stripped away, aka snatched, in order to be anointed with unsurpassed power, wealth, and status. In order to attain these huge assets not available to others, they must pass through these various increasingly evil and savage initiations culminating in human and child sacrifice rituals. These rituals are recorded and used as insurance to make sure they never vary from their allowed parameters. Many are raised in bloodline occult families and trauma conditioned at an early age as children to have multiple personality disorders, MPD, aka dissociative identity disorder. These individuals who have gained the world and all its riches, power, and status have lost their very souls and face a coming final judgment for their evil unless they repent. But currently they appear to truly not understand the significance of what they have done by giving up their very souls for mammon. Mammon? Wow, okay, there's a whole lot of new stuff to dig out here. In part 2 of this series, we transition from the ordinary fascism established during World War II and how it was suddenly transformed into super fascism by the JFK assassination, and will be explicated and discussed. And then here, boop, we have something from Gordon Duff. I don't know who he is, and I don't know who Mike Harris is, other than being the Premier of Ontario a long time ago. I'm sure it's a different Mike Harris. Anyway, I do want to just, before I finish this up, it's super late, but I hope that didn't alarm anyone. I don't think we're in a whole lot of trouble. I think as long as we're smart and we don't jump on board too quickly with anyone. I don't know if you saw my video that I posted. It was a mirrored video of dancing guy and lessons learned and first follower leadership. And the thing I wanted to get from that is, choose your nuts carefully. Choose your projects, choose life, choose carefully what you do. I don't think we have too much to worry about. But let's not get caught up in the family feud. Um, I think outing the evil we see is very important. But let's look to ourselves every day to be amazing. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So, be awesome. I hope you have a great day.